Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to another Knicks Media live stream. And today I had to go live, guys. I had to because last night felt like a movie. It was unbelievable. As we know, the New York Knicks defeat the Boston Celtics in their home. Their home opener. I can't even think straight because I'm so pumped up. So from last night, I just finished rewatching the entire broadcast because that's a different animal when you watch the game live at the Garden and then you watch the game live on the broadcast on ESPN. You really miss a lot of things when you rewatch it. And I got a lot of things to get off my chest about this Knicks team last night, what to talk about. Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin. I mean, the list goes on and on what happened last night. There was so much basketball to dissect, and I'm super excited to give you guys this live stream, whether you're watching it now live or you're watching a rewatch. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you're not already, and subscribe to the channel for more Knicks content as usual. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys. Man, last night was something special for multiple reasons. First of all, it's the home opener. We got the debuts of Kemba Walker. We have the debuts of Evan Fournier. And wait a second. Evan Fournier was worth every damn penny, at least in the first game of his Knick career. So what I want to talk about first in this live stream, hold on, I'm just doing something real quick. First thing I want to do in this live stream is talk about Evan Fournier because he impressed me. Let's put a stat line up. So here's Evan Fournier's stat line, and there's Evan Fournier on the screen. So in his first game as a New York Knick, what does Evan Fournier do? 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Evan Fournier is the first Knick of all time to put up 30-plus points in his Knicks debut. Evan Fournier and Julius Randle are the first Knick duo to ever put up 30-plus points each in a Knicks season opener. So this is a new era for the New York Knicks basketball. You can tell that Evan Fournier brings a completely different dynamic to this offense, especially when it comes to shot creation. And his clutch ability was ridiculous because if it wasn't for Evan Fournier, I don't know if we win this game in overtime because he absolutely just got clutch out of nowhere, hitting 3 threes in a row, and then he hit another 3 in double overtime. And not to mention, he hit a clutch 3 in regulation. And his ability to create his own jump shot, his step back, sidestep, 3-pointers is great. But what I noticed from Evan Fournier, he's a playmaker. He can put the ball on the floor. He can attack the rim. He makes good passes. And we all knew that going in when we signed Evan Fournier, but it was really refreshing to see what this Knicks team can do when Evan Fournier is on the court, because we all are comparing Evan Fournier to Reggie Bullock, right? Because Reggie Bullock was replaced by Evan Fournier, and Reggie Bullock was a great Knick. He gave us a lot of clutch shots. He was a great wing defender. But Evan Fournier, 4 steals. Listen, I know that Reggie Bullock is a way better defender when it comes to the perimeter defense. But Evan Fournier was getting into the passing lanes. He has great defensive instincts. And I was just so impressed with the way his energy was. You can see in this picture right now, I think this is his last 3-pointer that he hit, 6th one. And you can tell the energy is there. He was super excited to just absolutely unlock his, energy in Madison Square Garden. Like, guys, the Garden was so loud, and I just needed to go live because right in this moment, because I just finished rewatching the game, like I just told you guys, and I picked up on so much, and I needed to get a lot off my chest. And Evan Fournier is the first person I want to talk about. So, guys, I see you guys in the chat. What's good, Rondo? What's good, Wubba? Worldwide L? What's good, Bowen? What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. It feels good to be a Knicks fan, man. You hear Stephen A. Smith this morning on First Take. He's given us a lot of high expectations. We all know that he represents the Knicks in terms of fans. I know a lot of Knicks fans don't really like Stephen A. Smith because he does a lot of things in the media where we don't agree with. But he's saying that the Knicks are guaranteed getting out of the first round. And he's right. I mean, the Knicks got to get out of the first round this year. We got to get to the playoffs. We got to win at least one round if we want to make that big step this season. Because last year we exceeded all the expectations. We get the 4th seed. And now we're a damn good basketball team. We add Kemba. We add Fournier. And we have all these returning players. And Obi Toppin, year number 2. Julius Randle, superstar. Mitchell Robinson is back indeed. What's good, Dar the dog? So, speaking of Julius Randle, let's go over him real quick because he was so good, man. I think Julius Randle might be a little better than we think he is. Like, I think Knicks fans understand how good Randle is from last year. Most improved player of the year, all-star. All those accolades that he did and he accomplished, had an historic season, averaging 24, 11, and 6, averaging the most points, the most rebounds, the most assists on the entire team. I mean, we all know what Julius Randle did last year. But I think Julius Randle might have a better season this season. And I really think that because now he knows that the city has his back. He understands that, he signs an extension. He's here long term. He doesn't have to worry about the money. He doesn't have to worry about proving Knicks fans that he is the guy for the job. And you can just tell that he put so much work in this offseason on his, ability to put the ball on the floor and hit these crazy shots. I mean, Julius Randle hits those shots where we just look at each other. We're like, how is he doing this? And he's hitting the shots that superstars hit. He's hitting the shots, those fadeaway, step back, contested at the baseline, 3-pointers. It's just, he's one of those players where he's hitting those shots where you can tell he's a superstar. And I don't want to, give him that superstar, label right now. But I think he is. Genuinely, I really feel like he's playing that way. Hopefully that continues throughout the season. And hopefully, most importantly, he shows up in the playoffs when we make it there, because he's a big reason we lost in the playoffs against the Hawks. And I think we all understand that. But I think that was a great learning experience from Julius Randle. What I noticed from Julius Randle last night in particular is he really put this game on his shoulders. In terms of early on in the game, first quarter, he has the first field goal of the entire game was a 3-pointer from Julius Randle. He comes back, hits another 3-pointer. He gets the ball and he just creates for others. Like, everything about Julius Randle is everything you want in the franchise player for the New York Knicks. He embodies Tom Thibodeau's system. He is playing all over the place. He played, I think, 46 minutes in total because of the double overtime period. So hopefully he's not too sore today because he got to suit up for the game tomorrow. But listen, guys, it's so exciting that we have a guy in Julius Randle that really is in shape and can do everything, because the versatility to Julius Randle is so underrated in terms of his ability to bring the ball up as a point forward, his ability to take his defender off the dribble, attack, post moves, post hook, bully down low, mid-range, 3-point. He's a 3-level scorer. And Julius Randle is probably like the best thing that could ever happen to this Knicks franchise. His mindset, his work ethic, it really goes down and looks at all the other players and on the team, his teammates, they look up to Julius Randle and they're like, yo, okay, Julius Randle puts in that work. This is what happens when you put in that work. You become a sensational player, and he completely flipped the switch. And now the entire city of New York and the entire state of New York, all the Knicks fans across the world are in love with Julius Randle. He's doing everything that Knicks fans have been waiting to have, a superstar in the New York Knicks, and his name is Julius Randle. I cannot be more excited about him. His ability to put the ball in the rim in the clutch time, his ability to do everything defensively, playmaking. Woo! I can go off about Julius Randle for the next 20 minutes if I really wanted to, but we're not going to do that because there's a lot of other players to talk about. Let's get into RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett had a really interesting game. He started off really slowly. Oh, I don't have a graphic of RJ. That sucks. It's okay. We don't need it. But RJ Barrett finished with 19 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 55% from the field. I think he was 3 of 7 from downtown. So this is what I love about RJ Barrett, because even though he did not do anything in the first half, he only shot the ball 3 times. And he missed 2 free throws. He had 0 points at half. Everybody's like, yo, what's going on with RJ? Why is he not doing anything? Well, we have to realize that this is a brand new role for RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett has to realize that now Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker's thrown into the mix. He's not going to be the number 2 option anymore. Evan Fournier is a ball-dominant player. Kemba Walker's a ball-dominant player. Julius Randle's a ball-dominant player. We do not have a pass-first player on this entire roster. And that's the truth of the matter, especially in the starting lineup. So that's going to be really interesting to see what happens, how this Knicks team really flows together offensively in terms of the starters. Because if you don't have a pass-first player and you have a guy like Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, RJ Barrett, where they all like to have the balls in their hands, they're all scorers, it's going to be interesting. And I feel like it's going to take time for them to really, click together. And I'm really excited to see what they can do, because Kemba Walker, he did not have the greatest game. I mean, he was 3 for 4 from downtown, which is great. He only had 10 points, 3 3-pointers, and he turned the ball over a lot in crunch time. That really needs to clean up, because Kemba Walker, that cannot happen. We should have won that game in the regulation, but hey, it is what it is. But RJ Barrett, what did he do? Third quarter, 6 minutes to go. He still has 0 points. He gets a dunk in transition, and all of a sudden he has 2 points, and then that's where everything starts to click for RJ Barrett. He finally gets the ball in his hands, and he finished shooting 55% from the field. That's the thing about RJ. Like, People are like, oh, RJ struggled in the first half. No, he didn't struggle in the first half. He just never got the ball in his hands. He never got an opportunity to do anything with the ball. There was times where there was no plays designed for him. It wasn't like he was missing shots. It was just the ball was not finding him. And then the ball started to find RJ Barrett, and he scores 14 damn points in the third quarter alone, attacking the rim, hitting three-point jump shots, going to the free throw line, putting pressure on the rim, creating shots for others, and not to mention his lockdown defense on Jason Tatum the entire game. Jason Tatum was off all game long, and whenever RJ Barrett was on Jason Tatum, it seemed like Jason Tatum was clamped up, especially in the last shot of overtime. Jason Tatum had an opportunity to win the game at the buzzer. RJ Barrett all over him. He puts up an air ball. That's just great. That's a great sign for RJ Barrett's development because he's in year number 3. And if RJ can really become an established two-way wing, that is going to be a big deal for this Knicks team in the future, because now that Reggie Bullock is gone, who's going to be that guy that steps up and really, becomes that number one option in terms of the defensive side of the ball? Because it looks like that's going to be RJ Barrett. So guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. We got 12 likes with around 35 of you guys watching. Welcome in. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday afternoon. I just got finished rewatching the game, and I got a lot to talk about. We just talked about RJ, Evan Fournier, and Julius Randle. The next guy I want to talk about is this man right here. This man right here. Obi Toppin. Oh, my goodness. Obi Toppin in year number 2 looks like a different player. The confidence is ridiculous. He puts so much pressure in transition. You got to give him the ball. He's a high flyer. We all knew that going in. But I love the confidence that he has in his jump shot. He did not hit one of his three-pointers, but I still love that he's still putting them up because they're going to fall. And if Obi Toppin hit at least one or two of those three-pointers, he finishes with around 17, 20 points. He had 14 points off the bench, which is everything you can ask for Obi Toppin. I think that's his career high. I could be wrong. But Obi Toppin played crucial minutes. I love that Tom Thibodeau in the second half played Randle and Obi together because they really complement each other very well. The one thing that is not as good when they're on the floor is obviously the rim protection and the rebounding, but Randle had a crucial block, and when they're on the floor together, it spaces everything out, and it creates a fluidity on offense that we're not used to, and it's a mismatch for Julius Randle at all times. But what Obi Toppin really stood out to me the most is his ability to be confident in himself. When the ball's in his hands, he doesn't look rattled. He doesn't look like he doesn't know what to do with it like he did last year as a rookie. And those are things that are normal when you're a rookie. Sometimes you don't know, how to get your feet wet. You don't know how to really, put the ball in the rim. You don't know where your spots are. But now it feels like the game's slowing down for Obi Toppin. And I think we have to realize the prospect that he was at Dayton, why we were so excited about him last year. 8th overall pick. He was the college player of the year, the best player in all of college basketball 2 years ago. And he's getting better and better. And I'm expecting a breakout season for Obi Toppin. And I do expect him to play crunch minutes because he played 28 minutes, which probably is the most of his career. And not only did he play 28 minutes, but he played 28 crucial minutes because he played when it mattered the most, late in the fourth quarter and overtime. So shout out to Tom Thibodeau for giving Obi Toppin the opportunity to really thrive. Now, the next guy I want to talk about, which was so good to have him back, guys. Oh, my goodness. Mitchell Robinson. I think he is the X factor of this entire Knicks team, to be honest, because in the playoffs, we missed out on Mitchell Robinson so much. His rebounding, his shot blocking, his second chance opportunities, his alley-oops, his dunking, like everything about Mitchell Robinson, we missed out on so much in the playoffs. And I genuinely still believe to this day that if Mitchell Robinson was healthy during that Atlanta Hawks series, it would have been a different outcome. Not saying we would have won it, but I really feel like it would have been a completely different outcome if Mitchell Robinson was there. His energy is crazy. You know that Mitchell Robinson is trying to get back in shape because he broke his foot. He was in a walking boot all throughout the past couple of weeks. You're naturally not going to be in good condition in that state. But he put on a lot of weight. He's bigger. He's thick. He can body people down low. He's boxing people out. And, man, Mitchell Robinson is going to be a really fun player to watch if he stays healthy all year. I'm expecting Mitch to really starting to break out like midway through the season because I think that's when he's going to get into, 100% basketball shape. He played a lot of minutes last night because we had double overtime. But, man, it was good to see Mitchell Robinson back out there, blocking shots, spiking it out of bounds, cleaning up the glass, second chance opportunities. The list goes on and on about what Mitchell Robinson is going to do for this New York Knicks team. Shout out to Heck Brizo for the stats. This was Mitchell Robinson's stats, man. 11, 17 with 2 blocks, and even at 75%, he's about to have a great year. Yes, indeed. Mitchell Robinson, I said it earlier, guys. He's the X factor of this team. And I think we have to realize who we missed out on last night. Taj Gibson was out due to personal reasons. He had his first child, so shout out to Taj Gibson. Congratulations. We also missed out on Nerlens Noel. He's dealing with the knee and hamstring problem, so that's something to look out for. Can you imagine what this team's going to do with Nerlens Noel back? Like, we're going to have Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel on the court at any given moment protecting the rim. Taj Gibson is another big element. Hopefully he's back tomorrow night because we need Taj Gibson desperately. I like Jericho Sims, but I don't really trust him right now. He was literally the 58th overall pick. I feel like Jericho Sims is more of a product than giving him the minutes right now. But I do love the fact that we have Mitchell Robinson back and healthy. I feel like he's going to prove a really big impact to this Knicks team all throughout the season. And you know what the craziest thing is about last night's game too that I noticed, guys, is we did not get good games from either Kemba Walker or Derrick Rose or Emmanuel Quickley, and we still won. That's crazy. Those are our 3 point guards that, we're expecting big things from this year. Obviously, IQ, you can say he's a shooting guard, point guard, whatever. But Kemba Walker, he had 10 points. Derrick Rose, he had a very clutch shot. I mean, he had the dagger at the end of the game, but he finished with, I think, 10 points, shot like 3 of 11 from the field. Emmanuel Quickley, he only had 8 minutes, and when he was out there, he had a really insane, 15-foot floater. Outside of that, he put up 2 3-pointers and missed it. It wasn't really, flowing with the offense, so Thibodeau did not play him in the second half at all. But can you imagine what the potential is with this team when Emmanuel Quickley, when Kemba Walker, when Derrick Rose all catch fire? And that's the great thing about this team right now. We're not going to be relying on Julius Randle every single night because we have guys like Evan Fournier to take the load off him. We have guys like Kemba Walker. We have guys like RJ Barrett and Derrick Rose and Quickley and Obi. Like Alec Burks is another player who, he hit some of his shots. He had 5 points, but he's a guy that can put up 15 points per game off the bench if he really wants to. So that's the thing that I'm noticing about this team right now, guys, is we're so deep. I feel like every other game there's going to be somebody that steps up. Like, for example, I think we're going to get a Kemba Walker night, but Kemba Walker drops 25-plus points, and then maybe, Evan Fournier puts up 9 points. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we cannot expect consistency from guys like Evan Fournier to put up 30-plus points per game. I think we all understand that. I think Evan Fournier is going to average around 18-plus per game. I think maybe 20-plus per game will be ideal, but I don't want to put that on him right now. But the really good thing about this Knicks team is we have so many guys that can step up at any given moment. I'm expecting Randle to be the guy that put up his 24, put up his 11 and 6 every single game. I'm expecting RJ to take that next step. Hopefully he can get more shots because that's the one thing about RJ Barrett that I want to talk about real quick is I don't know if it's his fault or the coach's fault or this player's fault, but RJ Barrett needs to shoot the ball more than 11 times. He shot 55%, 6 of 11 from the field. That's unacceptable. We need RJ Barrett to shoot the ball. You could tell that he has a different mindset when it comes to the three-point land. His first 3-pointers that he shot last night was dribble pull-ups. That is a really good sign because when he starts to hit those, it's going to unlock a different dimension of RJ Barrett's game. But he needs to shoot more than 11 shots, guys. He really does. I don't know if that's up to the coaching staff or the players or RJ Barrett himself. I don't want him to force up shots. But for him to only shoot 11 shots when he played 47 minutes, that's not good. I feel like if RJ can put up at least 15 shots per game, he's destined to average 20 points per game. I think that's really what it comes down to is just RJ having some volume because I like that he was efficient. I like 6 for 11, starting off 0-3. He hit all of his shots in the third quarter, clutch shot after clutch shot, dunking, his energy, his defense. But man, it's just a really good vibe that we're saying that RJ Barrett shooting 11 field goals is not a good thing because we have guys like Evan Fournier, guys like Kemba, and all these guys that can step up for RJ Barrett if he doesn't want to shoot or if he's, not really involved right now. And that's the good thing about this Knicks team. And another thing I want to talk about right now, guys, is I'm just rambling. I didn't really prepare this stream. I'm just like, you know what? I want to go live. I want to talk about the Knicks and get everything, that I have on my mind to you guys. And I love you guys in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button, guys, if you're not already. I appreciate everybody in here. Let's go Knicks, man. Representing my Mitchell Robinson shirt, my brother at birth. I always say this whenever I bring up Mitchell Robinson because it's a fun fact, and you guys probably won't believe it if you didn't hear this yet. Mitchell Robinson and myself have the same exact birthday. Not only the birthday, but the year. So Mitchell Robinson and I are the same exact age. That doesn't make sense. I don't look like I should be the same age as Mitchell Robinson. But, hey, it is what it is. I always find that fact really awesome. But man, wait, what was I gonna say before? Oh yeah, let's talk about the Knicks' expectations when it comes to the season. First Take was on this morning. Stephen A. Smith was going crazy, saying that the Knicks are going to the playoffs, obviously, and they were getting out of the first round. And all the naysayers are saying, no, the Knicks are, first round exit. Are the Knicks going? Who are the Knicks better than in the Eastern Conference? Where are they going to seed? When how many games are the Knicks going to be winning this season? Are we going to be burnt out by the playoff time? We don't know. But what I can say about this Knicks team in terms of expectations is they're high. And this is the first time as a Knicks fan, I think you guys can agree with this, this is the first time in I don't even know how long, because even back in 2013, that season with Melo, we were the second seed. Like the expectations were like, all right, we're a really old team. We're veterans. We have Melo. We have Jason Kidd. We have all these guys. Like we should be good. But the second seed was pretty wild. This year, Knicks fans are like, yo, like the expectations is playoffs and we got to win that first round, because we all know what happened last year. It was a special regular season. Randle did his thing. Derrick Rose, trade deadline acquisition. And then we stink it up in the playoffs, and it really, kind of, left us not feeling too good about that season. But then you take a step back and you realize what our expectations were going into the season. We're like, okay, that was okay. We learned now we know what it's like to be in the playoffs, and we're going to be back there, and we're going to be making some noise in the damn playoffs. So my expectations for the Knicks this season, I don't know if I want to put a win total or a seed, but I really genuinely can say this with confidence that a top 6 seed is definitely possible. I mean, we were a 4th seed last year, so why can't we get better? But the thing is, the Eastern Conference did get a lot better. The teams that I can say with confidence that, okay, I'm not really going to say that the Knicks are going to be better than them in the seeding. Like guys like the Milwaukee Bucks, they're probably going to be the first seed if I had to guess. The Brooklyn Nets, even though the whole Kyrie Irving situation, they still have James Harden, they still have Kevin Durant. I don't think we can touch Brooklyn. I do think we can beat them in a regular season matchup. I'm excited for that this year. But when it comes to the seeding, I don't see us being anywhere near the Brooklyn Nets. And then after those two, you see the Philadelphia 76ers with the whole Ben Simmons situation. That's a big question mark. Even though Joel Embiid is an absolute superstar, and they still got Tobias Harris, and they still got a lot of guys. Doc Rivers is a great coach. Sixers are a good team, but they're a little more vulnerable, in my opinion. And then guys like, the Atlanta Hawks, we all know them. They're getting better this year. They have continuity. Trae Young, don't want to talk about him right now, but, they're a good team, but I still feel like we are well-suited to beat them. Guys like, the Chicago Bulls, they're like the team that everybody's obsessed with because they got Lonzo, they got DeRozan, they got all these guys. And I feel like the Knicks can match up well against them. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference, even like the sleeper teams like the Miami Heat. I feel like a sleeper team in the East this year, and you guys could probably disagree with this. That's okay. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy, but I think the Washington Wizards could be a slept-on team this year in terms of fighting for the play-in tournament, because the Wizards have been really bad pretty much every single year. But now that trade that they made, giving up Westbrook, and now they got Kuzma and Harrell and Bradley Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie. I feel like the Wizards are a low-key team this year. Hopefully they're not, but that's just a gut feeling that I have about them. They could be definitely a play-in tournament candidate. And the Charlotte Hornets as well. They had a crazy game last night, if you guys saw that. But yeah, I'm just talking about the NBA and the Eastern Conference right now because I want to see what you guys are expecting in terms of the Knicks seeding-wise. So guys, I'm going to open this up to a Knicks Q&A. So you guys in the chat, feel free to ask me any questions, and I'm going to try to get to an individual question that I can. Yeah, so Knicks Q&A. Nope, not Luca. Obi stat prediction. This is a good one, Andrew. Obi stat prediction. I don't know. He put up 14 points last night. I would love for Obi to hit 10 points per game, but I feel like even that is a little bit of a stretch because I don't know. Realistically, I would like to see at least 8+ points per game because there's going to be games where Obi doesn't really see a lot of minutes because Randle just gets all the boatload of time, unless Tom Thibodeau really likes Randle and Obi playing together. But hey, 10+ points per game, hit me with that. Obi Toppin, love it. Who do you think will be the most improved player on the Knicks? What's up, Gideon? I think it might be Obi Toppin because, RJ Barrett, that was his accolade last year. Well, I guess that was Randall's accolade because he won the damn award. But it's going to be hard for RJ to improve that much because he improved that much from year 1 to year 2, if that makes any sense. Obi Toppin, he can make a big step and be like, okay, that's the most improved player on the team because he did not do anything last year as a rookie. If we're being flat out honest, Obi Toppin struggled as a rookie. He really got his footing later on in the season. In the playoffs, he showed up. So I think Obi Toppin is going to be the most improved player on the Knicks. What's up, Jamal? Hope you're doing well, my man. Hey, Richie, that was a great game you went to last night. Watch First Take with Stephen A. Smith. He is hyped on the Knicks. Yeah, Jamal, I watched First Take this morning. Love to hear what Stephen A. Smith. He's always a ball of energy. I love it. How did you feel about Obi and Randle playing together yesterday? Matthew, what's good, my man? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Luckily, they got experience in preseason together, playing off of each other. The front court was really fun to watch. Julius and Obi. I like it. It's a mismatch for the opponents. I feel like that it's a good thing that we have to play with pace. Like this lineup is all about playing with intensity, playing in transition, giving Obi Toppin the ball. Like he's a lob threat when it like how many times do we see Obi Toppin like we get the rebound, he's flying. He's gone. And then Derrick Rose gives him it. I love it. I feel like Obi and Randle have to play together on the floor more often than not this year. I know it's early, but how far do you think we will go in the playoffs? Well, it really determines like who are we playing in the first round? Like obviously we don't know who we're playing in the first round, and that's a big factor. But I'm going to say with confidence, I'm going to say this with my Knick hat on, literally, that the Knicks are going to the Eastern Conference semifinals, okay? I think that we're built to learn from our mistakes last year in the playoffs, and I think that we can all say we're getting to the playoffs. But we're winning the first round, okay? We're winning the damn first round. I'm going to speak it into existence. Knicks fans, let's do it. Do you like the Kemba and Fournier signings? Yes, I do, Gideon. Fournier last night, I think this man deserves to be on the screen right now. Hold on one second. There he is. Look at that man. Look at the energy. Like, whatever Fournier is going to bring to this Knicks team is so much. And the first thing that really stood out to me about what Fournier is bringing to this team is helping out Randle. Because the reason why we lost in the playoffs and the reason why we look so bad in the playoffs is because Randle was our only guy that can really do anything off the dribble. And when you have one guy, especially the power forward position, that can do that, they're just going to shut you down. And guys like RJ Barrett at that time in year number 2, he hasn't really developed the ability to create his own shot off the dribble. I think this is the year where RJ is going to start to do that. But now that we have a guy like Evan Fournier, that's going to take so much stress off Randle. And to be straight with you guys, if we didn't sign Fournier and like Fournier wasn't playing last night, we would have lost the game. Because you could tell that Randle was gassed in overtime. And that's okay. I mean, you can't expect Randle to play all game and just be, out there all overtime. But Fournier took over, and Randle understood that. And Randle understood, like, okay, I need to give Fournier the ball because he's red hot right now, and he took over the damn game. So Fournier is going to bring such a big factor to this team. And then Kemba Walker, I'm so happy he's here, man. Gideon, I feel like Kemba Walker, even though he did not have the greatest game last night, he did have 8 boards. He did have 10 points. He had 3 3-pointers, but the crucial turnovers at the end of the game, he's practically almost lost it. And I feel like Kemba's going to get his footing. I feel like there's going to be games where he drops 25, 30 points. There's going to be games where he struggles. I feel like Kemba Walker is going to get better and better. And I love the fact that we have Kemba Walker or Derrick Rose on the court at any given moment. So love the signings. This is a good question. How do you think Quickly will fit into the rotation? I love Quickly, but I'm scared he might get a little lost in the rotation, kind of like Trier did a couple of years ago. I don't think he's going to get lost in the rotation simply because he's the backup guard. We have, starting 5, as we know. It's Kemba, Fournier, Barrett, Randle, and Mitch. Those are the starting 5. And then the 5 off the bench is D Rose, Quickly, Burks, Obi, and Nerlens Noel when he's healthy, Taj Gibson when he's healthy, or Jericho Sims. We all know the bench unit. So I don't think he's going to lose minutes. I think it's really more on if Quickly plays well, he's going to get some minutes. Like last night, for example, he did not play in the second half because what Tom Thibodeau does as a coach, and I think I got a good understanding of Tom Thibodeau as a coach now, is he feels out the game, and based on who's got it and who doesn't and who's playing well together, he's going to, slim it down to an 8-man rotation instead of a 10-man rotation late in the game. And that's exactly what he did. If you guys noticed, Emmanuel Quickly and Jericho Sims were the 2 odd men out in the second half. They cut it to an 8-man rotation. And that's okay. I don't think Quickly's going to, all of a sudden lose a lot of minutes. Like, he's the first guy off the bench to fill in for, Evan Fournier. He's the first guy off the bench to fill in for RJ Barrett as well. That's the reality. So I'm not worried about Quickly at all. Thoughts on McBride, Grimes, and Knox getting minutes throughout the season? Andrew, this is a good question. Unfortunately, I think the only way these three get minutes is if there's injuries. And hey, there's an 82-game season, and I'm sorry to bring this up to you guys, but injuries are part of the game, and we're going to be battling some injuries this year. Let's hope there's no season-ending injuries. Let's hope it's just short-term sprain stuff and nothing too crazy. But the only time these three players get minutes is if we're battling injuries and they're the next man up. Like Kevin Knox, for example, he's going to come in if guys like Alec Burks or guys like Obi Toppin or Randle, those are the guys, if God forbid those players go down, I feel like Knox would be the next man up. Same with Quentin Grimes. If Alec Burks goes down, I think Quentin Grimes might get the edge over Knox because of his defense. And then McBride, he's like the third string or the fourth string guard. I hate talking about injuries, guys, but if Kemba or D Rose or Quickly goes down, I think McBride is the next man up in the rotation. That's how I think they're going to get minutes. It just really relies, and that's the awesome thing about this team is we have depth. If we do have some injuries, I have confidence in McBride and Grimes to get some minutes as rookies to see what we got in those guys, and I still have a lot of faith in Kevin Knox to find his footing as well. Evan could put the ball on the floor and create his own shot. Yes, he can, Gideon. It's a really good thing that we have. So yeah, guys, let me know in the chat if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Kemba will have his redemption game. Oh, of course he will. Kemba's going to be fine, guys. Don't read too much into last night. It's funny because opening night is all about overreactions on the positive end and the negative end. Right now, we all are crowning Evan Fournier as the king. This guy is he deserves every single penny we gave him. And then Kemba, we're like, all right, Kemba, what was that? But that's going to happen. Like I said earlier on in the stream, there's going to be games where Evan Fournier has 8 points and Kemba is the one with 30 points. That's what is going to be the fun part about this team. There's going to be a new player that steps up any given night. The depth this year is incredible. Yes, it is, Peter. Yes, it is. And this is why I really believe that this Knicks team, in terms of regular season, are going to win a lot. Because even if we are unfortunately banged up with injuries at some point in the season, I like the depth where the next man up, we're good. Listen, our two big men were out last night. Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson. And it still didn't matter. We had Jericho Sims step up, play decent minutes, Mitchell Robinson, and then Obi Toppin Randle subbing in together. We have depth, and that's the one thing that gives me really a lot of excitement. The problem with Kemba is I don't think he gets enough play calls. Agree or disagree? Well, it's so early to tell that, in my opinion. I feel like we have to assess this question midway through the year or at least 10 games in because, he's the point guard. So he's going to have the ball in his hands, dribbling it up. Not to say that Julius Randle is not going to do it as well because he's the point forward. But I feel like we want to see more pick and rolls with Kemba Walker being the ball handler. I also like to see Kemba Walker play off the ball at times, at Randle being the playmaker, even Fournier or Barrett, and that's the versatility. I feel like it's going to be fine. I think Kemba's going to get a lot of playing calls, but the one player I want to see get a lot of calls ran for him, that's RJ Barrett. There was not enough last night, in my opinion. Hey, Richie, do you think IQ is going to progress as a Knicks player the same way RJ Barrett did? I don't think Quickly is going to become a player like Barrett just because Barrett was a starter since he was a rookie and he's been getting a lot of minutes ever since he came into the Knicks. If Quickly was a player that was starting ever since he came in, I feel like that would be a better chance for him to become a guy like RJ. But that's my answer. Just because Quickly's more of a bench guy, there's nothing wrong with that. We need depth off the bench. But I do think Quickly's going to take a step this year. I think he's going to find his footing. He's going to understand when to take good shots, when not to take those shots that he struggled with in his rookie season. I'm really excited to see what Quickly can do in year number 2, and I'm definitely expecting a big jump from year 1 to year 2. Salute, Richie. Salute to you, my man. Appreciate you. Elfrid Payton played 0 minutes last night. I love to hear that. I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that. Mitch was big defensively and can catch lobs and tip-ins. Yes, Gideon. Mitchell Robinson is my guy. He's my birth brother. His impact on this Knicks team is so big. And I love that he put on weight because now he's not going to be bullied down low. He can box people out. He can post people up. He can, be that high flyer that this Knicks team has been desperately waiting for a long time. And it's really exciting to have Mitchell Robinson back and healthy, playing well, swatting blocks out of bounds, catching those alley-oops. Man, it was good to see him back. The one player that I was really impressed with the most last night has to be Obi Toppin. It really does, because in that third quarter, he flipped the switch, and he's kind of like the Energizer Bunny to this team, guys. He's kind of like that player where if he gets going, it ignites energy into this team. He's a fun player. Everybody loves Obi Toppin. His personality is great. He's a homegrown New York City kid, just like Kemba Walker. And I feel like a lot of people forget that. There's a homecoming for Kemba, but, Obi Toppin grew up a Knicks fan in New York City and played basketball with his father in the streets, just like Kemba did. And that's a great thing. Mitch basically shoves people out of the way for those easy putbacks. That's the great thing about him, man. He has so much strength now to the point where, like, there was one shot where Julius Randle puts it up, he missed it, and Mitch completely shoved him out of the way, gets the rebound, dunks it. Woo! Too easy. What is our team's weakness? This is a good question. This is a very good question. Our team's weakness. Yeah, so this team's definitely not perfect. I think we struggled last night in three-point defense. But the crazy thing is, last night we were the best team defensively against a three-point line. I don't think that's going to happen again this year, but we definitely struggled in terms of defending the three-point line last night. There's a lot of times they were wide open. I also feel like we lack. Let's see, what are other weaknesses that we have? Offensively speaking, I feel like we don't have a pass-first player. I feel like that might be a weakness because we don't have that guy that's going to be unselfishly getting everybody involved and not thinking to score. And that's not that much of a weakness, but that's just the reality of our team. Like, Kemba Walker is a score-first point guard. Evan Fournier is a score-first shooting guard. RJ Barrett's a score-first small forward. And Julius Randle is a score-first, power forward. Not to say that they all are not unselfish and they do pass. They're playmakers. They get their teammates involved. But we don't have that guy like Alonzo Ball or Chris Paul or a point guard that's like, and even Derrick Rose off the bench. He's not a pass-first guy. Emmanuel Quickly, he's not a pass-first guy. So that's the one weakness I would say. But that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world at all. But that's definitely something I've noticed. There's no way Brown hit that logo shot every time. Guys, Jaylen Brown, what he did last night, I still am at a loss for words. Like, you got to tip your cap to the Boston Celtics. I hate the Celtics. I always have. But you got to tip your caps to Jaylen Brown in particular because he was unconscious last night. And he was battling COVID, didn't practice for 10 days, and he still does that? I don't know, man. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. That was ridiculous. He put on a show, man. He put on a show. And even last night when I was watching the game, I realized, wow, this game's on ESPN. And this is just a really good game for basketball fans. Not even for Knicks fans, not even for Celtics fans, but for a normal, traditional NBA fan watching this game, they were entertained. I mean, that was one of the most entertaining basketball games I've seen in a very long time. RJ was my player of the game. Without his defense on Jason, we lose. Very good point by Worldwide L. RJ Barrett, this is such a big season for him defensively. And also is a very big season for him in terms of creating his own jump shot. How many times did we see RJ last night pull up from three? He didn't hit any of those. I think he will. And it's a really good sign that he's taking those shots. But he's had, I think, two of his three-pointers were contested three-point shots. And his three-point ability is huge. But his defense won us this game for sure. Without RJ Barrett locking up Tatum, I don't know if we really have a chance to win that game, especially in overtime when Tatum had an opportunity to win the game at the buzzer. RJ was all over him, and he forced him to put up an air ball. Oh, hey, Richie, what's good? What's good, brother? Welcome into the stream, my man. Mitch needs to develop a post game and learn how to pass out of the post. This is the development for Mitch. I hope he can do that. I just don't know if it's in his arsenal, man. I don't know if that's in his instincts. I would love for Mitch to develop a post game. Now that he's bigger, I feel like he could definitely back people down. That was his one issue when he first came in. He was so thin and so, slim to the point where you don't have the strength enough to bruise you down low. But now that he's a bruiser, I would love for him to be able to back people down low, have a pass first, pass out of the post. There was a play last night where Mitch kind of passed it where he shouldn't have. Obi Toppin dished it down low to Mitch, and it was a great pass by Obi, or was it Fournier? And then Mitch had an opportunity to dunk it, but he passed it back to Fournier, and then he missed the layup. I was like, all right, Mitch, put that up next time. That's a little too unselfish. Mitch's dribble handoff is actually not bad, but hey, he needs to learn how to shoot outside the paint. Yeah, I would love to see Mitch be able to develop a jump shot. I just don't know if I can rely on him to do that, to be honest. A jump hook would be nice. I feel like he should develop that. You can see there's a lot of film and a lot of highlights of him in the gym working on his, hook shots and jump shots and even three-point shots. But hey, the one thing that Mitch needs to work on is his free throws, because he's going to be going to the line a lot this year, especially that he put on those weight. And he's going to be getting hacked. He's going to be getting fouled. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Mitchell Robinson to cash in at the free throw line. Mitch's dribble handoff is actually not bad, but yeah, he needs to learn how to shoot outside the paint. I agree. Wow, guys, we've been live for 42 minutes. I'm happy you guys are just tuning in. You're chilling with me. You're just a relaxed Knicks media live stream talking about the Knicks game last night. Loved hearing what you guys have to say. Love interacting with everybody in the chat. If you guys did not smash that like button, I would greatly appreciate that, guys. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, of course. The next Knicks game I'm going to is it's Sunday, 2 weeks from now, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's going to be a dope game. I'm going with my buddies. The nice member on the channel, Apple, what is good? Look at that. Look at the emoji. Yo, Apple, use all the emojis in the chat for me real quick. Look at all these emojis I have. I got to update these. My members on my channels. Here, I just put it in. Did I get a wristband? Yeah, I got a wristband, Jeff. And I got a free t-shirt, which is dope. Get them likes up. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. His free throw is somehow getting worse from his rookie year, but it's okay. I think he will get it back. This is a great point. Like, I remember Mitch's rookie season. He had a really good touch to his free throws, and I'm like, whoa, okay. Mitchell Robinson, rookie. He's a big man that can hit free throws. That's a big deal. We need a Fournier and Kemba emoji. Yeah, I do. I can only make 4 at a time, so I got to replace. I guess I'll replace. It's hard to take away some people, but I guess I'll replace Quickly and Mitch and put it in. But I love those emojis. And I love how my face is next to your name in the chat. It's so funny. That's so funny. But guys, anything in particular you want me to talk about, please let me know, because there's so much I can probably talk about. I think Mitch has to get used to his new body. Yeah, I agree. This is his first time playing with this type of weight. Let's go, Peter. Welcome in, bro. All right, I will not get rid of Quickly, bro. I won't do it just for you, because you are a loyal member here on Knicks Media. Guys, you know what? A Knicks game I might be going to, actually. I might be flying to Atlanta, because one of my buddies moved to Atlanta, and it's perfect because the Knicks are playing them on a Saturday, January 15th. And me and my buddies are like, yo, let's go visit our friend. Let's go to the Knicks-Hawks game. We'll make a weekend out of it. Let's do it. So I might be in Atlanta representing Knicks. I don't know, man. That's going to be pretty crazy. Do you think Kemba is going to stunt the growth of Quickly? Feel like that was an unnecessary signing. Also, he plays no D. I don't think – listen, Kemba Walker replaced Elfrid Payton. We needed a veteran point guard to start, because I prefer Derrick Rose to come off the bench. I don't think Kemba's going to stunt the growth of Quickly at all, to be honest. I think it was a necessary move, because Kemba Walker is going to take so much off of Julius Randle's plate. So I don't think he's going to do that. Obviously, he's a liability on the defensive side of the ball, but the system of Thibodeau I believe in, where it won't be that much of an issue. When do you think Rokas will come over from Europe? I don't think he will this year. I know that he's killing it over there, which is a great sign. Rokas Yakubitis, our rookie second-round pick. He's been killing it over there. I don't think he's going to coming this year. I think that's more of a stash thing where it's like a long-term thing. Should the Knicks monitor possible trade candidates? Yeah, of course they should. I think the front office should be looking around. Obviously, it's so early, and the trade deadline is not for a long time. But I don't think the Knicks are going to be that aggressive at the trade deadline because of, who are we going to trade away? Like, the people that are on this team are like, we inked them up. Like the free agents that we acquired, especially the guys that we re-signed, like Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and all those guys. We re-signed them to 3-year deals. They're not going to be traded, in my opinion. And then, the only people I can see that are trade bait for us, Kevin Knox. We do have a lot of draft capital, so we could use our draft picks if we want to, if there's a star available and, we're like one piece away from really becoming a contender. But I would like them to be aggressive, but I don't want them to sacrifice the future for this team as well. They got to be smart. They play here in Atlanta on November 27th. Yeah, they do, man. They play them the 27th of November, and they play the Knicks Hawks on Christmas at the Garden, and then they play in Atlanta again in January, and that's the one I'll be going to. I also liked that Randle didn't try to do too much and was banging guys into the post. This is a great point, Gideon. This is what I'm trying to say, what Fournier and Kemba are going to do to this team, because the reason why Randle looks so bad in the playoffs is because he can't do everything yourself. This is an NBA league where if you have one good player, one star, you're a good team, but you're not going to be successful because all they're going to do is double team you and lock you down. And if you don't have anybody else outside of that one player to create his own shot, you're doomed. So now when Randle, he's a little fatigued, he already did everything. He can rely on Fournier to create his own jump shot. He can rely on Kemba Walker to go to the rim. He can rely on RJ Barrett now. It's a really good thing to have, man. Also, RJ was huge in the second half last night. Yes, he was, man. I love that. Like, my friends were texting me at halftime, like, yo, what's good with RJ? You're so high on RJ. He's trash. I'm like, bro, do you not know what RJ Barrett's about in the second half? Just wait. What does he do? 14 damn points in the third quarter, played lockdown defense in the whole second half, and was a big reason why we won that game. I know we're talking about the Knicks. I'm just asking what are your NBA Finals predictions. My NBA Finals predictions is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But that could change. That's just my prediction. I think the Bucks are going to run it back. I think Giannis is so good. He really is unbelievable. I will be in Toronto repping the Knicks once I move to Canada next year. Let's go, baby. Represent the Knicks over in Canada. Love to see that. Should be Knicks versus Knicks. Yeah, what am I saying? The Knicks are representing the East in the NBA Finals. What am I saying? It's not the Bucks. We're going all the way. All right, it's a joke, guys. Let me have some fun while I can. But guys, the Knicks are 1-0. The Knicks are versing the Orlando Magic. Well, let's talk about that, guys. We're versing the Magic in 2 games in a row now. We're versing the Magic at Orlando tomorrow night, and then the Magic back in the Garden on Sunday. Now, this is interesting because the one thing that I'm worried about tomorrow night's game is the fatigue on this team right now. Like, Randle was gassed. Like, for a fact that they are feeling it this morning. Even LeBron James tweeted last night. He's like, the Garden is rocking. This game is awesome. But I feel for these players because they're going to wake up tomorrow feeling really sore, not going to be able to get out of bed. And if there's anybody that knows what games like that puts in your body, it's LeBron James. And for him to tweet that, it reminded me like, oh, let's hope this Knicks team can rehab and get back and are not, feeling the soreness still on Friday night. Because, guys, double overtime is a really big deal. Like, RJ Barrett had 47 minutes. That's basically an entire regular season game, an entire 4-quarter game. So that's the only thing I'm worried about is hopefully the fatigue doesn't catch up to the Knicks. But the Magic, I mean, who's even on the Magic now? I have no idea. Like, they traded away on Vucevic. They don't have Fournier anymore, obviously. They don't have Aaron Gordon anymore. Like, I'm honestly, like, very uneducated about this Orlando Magic team. Like, I know they have Cole Anthony. Jonathan Isaac, but like who else is on that team? I don't know, but that should be 2 wins. That definitely should be 2 wins. At least one of the two has to be a dub. We should be 2-1 or 3-0 heading to versus the Philadelphia 76ers. It's gonna be a really fun season, guys. No way. Is he actually? My guy Iggy is playing major minutes over in Orlando. That's sick. I love Iggy. Um, yeah, I'm not scared of Iggy at all, but I always loved Iggy. Hopefully he has a good career because I don't know. I always felt like he was gonna do good things for the Knicks. But hey, we got better players than Iggy, so that's why you're on the Orlando Magic. My bad, bro. But guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, please make sure you smash that like button on your way in here. We got 74 of you guys watching with 47 likes. Smash that thumbs up button if you're enjoying a Knicks media live stream. I'm having a ton of fun talking Knicks basketball with you guys. I want to go live more often. I'm going to go live during a couple games soon. I don't think I'm going to be able to tomorrow night. I'm not going to be able to Sunday because I'm going to be live during the Jets game. And I don't think I can do 2 live streams in one day, especially during the game. I would be absolutely gassed. But yeah, I'm going to be live during some games. I want to do a lot of content. If you guys have any ideas that you want to see more content of me, just outside of just, recap games, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Anything in particular you want me to break down film, you want me to talk about any particular player, rotations, trade things, like let me know. I'm very open to do anything for you guys. But yeah, man, I'm going to probably end the stream in the next like 5 or so minutes. I want to make this a 1-hour live stream. This is a great day to be a Knicks fan. Everybody, the best part about last night too is that it was on ESPN. So the entire world got to watch that game. So they kind of got woken up like, okay, wait, maybe the Knicks are back, and maybe Julius Randle's like season last year was not a fluke. And now they're all looking at the Knicks like they're scared of us. Who would have thought? You know that they're not going to admit it. You know that all these Bulls fans, Brooklyn Nets fans, even Celtics fans, Miami Heat fans, all these guys, they're not worried about the Knicks. But they should be, because we're a goddamn great franchise right now. Who the hell would have thought that? It's so crazy what Leon Rose has done to this team in such short time. Like, I don't think we are giving Leon Rose that enough credit he deserves. I think Knicks fans understand that he is the head of this entire operation. Like, Leon Rose, the one that hired Tom Thibodeau, and Tom Thibodeau hired his coaching staff, and then Leon Rose brought in all these guys. And also shout out to Scott Perry, because he was here when we signed Julius Randle. Who's my favorite NBA commentator? I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? Mike Breen. Mike Breen's my favorite commentator in any sport. And I'm a big, baseball and a big football guy as well. But Mike Breen is, my biggest inspiration, personally. It has to be Mike Breen. He grew up a Knicks fan. He's the voice of the Knicks. He's not only, the Knicks voice, but he's ESPN's voice. He's the NBA Finals. He's the voice of the NBA, for God's sakes. He went into the Hall of Fame. I can make a whole video of the greatness of Mike Breen. He's that good. We're here, baby. Let's go Knicks. You already know it, Boris. 52-30. Woo! 52-30. Man, if we do that, I don't know if the streets of New York is prepared. Do you guys see the video on what is it? Side Talk NYC or something? Sideline. What is that? What is it called? Hold on. Let me just double check. Yes, Side Talk NYC. Those videos are comedy. Seeing what Knicks fans are doing after the games, they're crazy. That's another thing I want to talk about real quick, is how Knicks fans are different, and how, the rest of the league, they clown us Knicks fans for getting overjoyous and so happy over the littlest things. The first playoff victory against the Hawks in the playoffs, we're parading the streets like we won the championship, and people are clowning us. What do you want us to do? Not be happy? You want us to be like, all right, cool, we won. Let's go home and enjoy. Even last night, we were paraded the streets like we won the championship. That's what makes Knicks fans different. That's what makes the city of New York different. That's what makes Madison Square Garden different. So I'm happy with that. And I love that everybody else clowns us. They're like, Knicks fans are so pathetic. They're cheering this hard for a regular season game. Yeah, we are, because we're the most passionate fan base in the entire world. How about that? The Magic had Jalen Suggs. Oh yeah, they do. That's a nice rookie. Did he play last night? Is he like healthy? Like I'm not sure. We'll see. I said we written down 44 to 48 games. Yeah, this is a very realistic prediction, Gideon. Vegas had the Knicks at, I think, 42.5 wins. I bet the house on that going over. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I think 50 wins is good. Let's do it. Let's do it. F. Wagner, W. Carter, Bamba. Who are those guys? I'm telling you guys, the Orlando Magic have a bunch of no names now. You know, they blew up their team. They blew up their team. They really did. Like Fournier was a crucial part of that. Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, all those guys. They're all gone. Salute. What's good, King Ribby? 49 and 31. Sign me up, bro. Sign me up. Well, 49 or 31 wins, or are you saying 49 wins, 31 losses? What is the NBA Finals you want to see? I would love to see Suns versus Knicks. I mean, yeah, Knicks for sure. I would love to see that. But if there was a team to verse in the finals that I would like to see, like I would love to see the Lakers. Imagine versing the Lakers in the finals, having Melo in the Garden. I mean, obviously we're talking like unrealistic things right now. Not saying it's impossible, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be insane watching like the Knicks take on the Lakers. That's my ideal NBA Finals and beating them. Of course. Jalen Suggs played in his debut, 10 points, 1 rebound. All right. I'm staying conservative with 47 wins. I see you, CJ. My prediction for the Knicks is 48 wins in the 5th seed. I think that's my bold prediction. It's not really that bold, in my opinion. Knicks versus Mavs. You want the Mavs to be that good, or you just want to destroy the Mavs in the finals? Yes, sir. Melo, my favorite player. Melo, my favorite player too, man. He's the one that really, like, you know, made me passionate about basketball. I mean, I love the Knicks. I was very young during like the David Lee and Jamal Crawford and like that whole Knicks era. And then when Melo came, that was it for me. I was very young at that time. And Melo was like, I would idolize him. Whenever I'd be playing basketball with my friends outside, I would be wearing his jersey. I'd be putting up shots like Melo. Love Melo, man. We almost got Melo back this year. Can you imagine that? If Melo was on this team right now? I don't know if he would fit, but I don't know. I would love to see Melo. The Knicks actually versus the Lakers really soon. I'm pretty sure in November at the Garden. That's going to be a crazy game. I'm sure the ticket prices are like quadruple. Like, I'm not going to that game. I already spend too much money on Knicks games as it is. So, guys, that's really going to conclude today's live stream here at Knicks Media. I'm so happy that the Knicks won last night, first and foremost. I'm also so happy to have this platform where I can interact with all you guys in the chat. I'm going to start going live a lot more often. I love interacting with you guys, doing Q&As, feeding off the energy in the chat. It's a great time, to be live. It's just a great vibe right now as a Knicks fan, repping my Knicks hat right here, NBA playoffs 2021. That's going to say NBA playoffs 2022. You already know what's good. But, man, I appreciate all the support, guys, here at Knicks Media. It means so much to me. You guys have no idea how much, all the support here at Knicks Media means. This is my 2nd season having this channel. Last year was my 1st, and I did it at a perfect time because now the Knicks are back. They're relevant. Oh, we good. Real quick, I'll answer this question. Salute, Richie. Where'd you get that that necklace? I got it from Shop Gold. They have any single logo from the NBA, MLB, NFL. I'm not sponsored by them, guys. I'm not paying to promote their product, but Shop Gold, definitely recommend it because it's fire. We are going to be good this year. Yes, we are, baby. Yes, we are. Hopefully Lakers can take it, then Melo can sign for his last season as a Knick. Facts. I agree, man. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Please make sure you smash that like button if you're not already. Subscribe to the channel as well. Stay tuned for more Knicks content. Let's go get this dub tomorrow in Orlando, and let's start the season off with a high note. Shout out to Evan Fournier because this man is an absolute legend already. We should just put him in the Knicks Hall of Fame, put his banner up, retire the number 13 because what he did last night was something special. Thank you guys so much for tuning into a Knicks Media live stream, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let's go Knicks and go New York, go New York, go. Woo! Peace out, everybody.